The MCC, the guardians and the rule makers of our game have finally weighed in on this controversial moment that marked the India versus Pakistan match, which took place just a couple of days back in the ongoing Women's Cricket World Cup. It's this very moment that resulted in a lot of social media conversation. We've already done a separate video for you as to why is it that the batter in this case was given out. Of course, that we've already addressed, but there are some of you who are still waiting for some sort of a clarification to come in from the MCC. Again, I'm not going to get into why is it that she was given out. That is something you know already. However, we will briefly touch on it as we go on and tell you what is it that the MCC has further clarified in the statement that they have put out. Take a look at what the MCC has said, very much settling the debate on why is it that Muneeba Ali was out in this very instance. The statement release says that the law specifically only covers a batter who's running or diving, and Muneeba was not moving towards her ground. She had taken guard from before the popping crease, and at no time did her feet move back into her ground. This law, which has been introduced in 2010, and by the way, we're talking about the bouncing bat law over here, is to protect a batter who inadvertently loses contact with the ground as they move towards the stumps, either with their bat bouncing up or just with both their feet being airborne through the natural process of running. None of this in fact was happening in the case of Muneeba. What was happening, and that has been clarified in this statement, is that in her case it simply looked like a balancing act, or the fact that she simply lifted her bat into the air. The third umpire was entirely correct to give her as out. So we've explained it to you. This statement pretty much puts the debate to rest. There was no confusion there. It's a very intricate rule. Our game, as we know, sometimes the rules are intricate, sometimes they're funny, but this was not a case of batter trying to make the ground. Unfortunately, at the moment, this is what the rule is, that if you're trying to make your ground, if it was the case of her moving towards the stumps, the story could have been very, very different. Yes, she wasn't looking at taking a run, but that's exactly what the rule says, that you have to be looking at completing your run or completing your ground for it to be considered. The first touch, we know that a bat did touch the ground, but it would only have been considered had she made an attempt to actually be going towards the stump and covering her ground. Fortunately, she wasn't even looking at taking a run. We know that for a fact, but this is what the rule says. If you're not looking a run, then you must mind the crease, then you must be behind the crease. But that unfortunately wasn't the case with her. That's the rule explained to you once again, and more importantly, that's the MCC statement. In case there was any confusion, now there should not be any. We hope you liked this video. Do subscribe to Sports Day if you haven't done so.